活躍しねえとな。
全部まとめてぶっ壊してやるっての。私の T エクスプロードでね。
いい気になってんじゃねえぞエレクトラケーショ
ン。ギフトベライヒからは絶対脱出不可能だ。ギフトリング。ブリーチ、ブレイブソウルズ。
What's going on, everyone? It's Kochyy here, and these Sternritters are finally here. If it wasn't obvious enough, now, without a doubt, they're the end of the month banner. We have their stats and skills and their attack data and everything we need to know. We're on Soldex's site. Shoutouts to him. And we're gonna get into it. Before, at the start of this video, I played a little trailer clip for them, and I thought it was pretty cool just because that's the first time we hear their voices and how they sound. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, I felt like their voices, at least for Bambi and Candice, their voices sounded pretty much exactly how I imagined they would sound when I was reading the manga and reading their speech bubbles and stuff, and kind of imagining how they'd say those lines. I was really surprised how accurate they sounded to my expectations, I guess. Askin, not so much. I don't really know how I expected them to sound, but I don't know. Overall, I think their voices are all great. I know these are much anticipated characters. Years ago, when people were playing this game, they were thinking I wonder if they'll ever add Sternritters to the game, and now here they are, first ever. So really looking forward to getting into talking about these units. And we'll start things off with Askin. So Askin is a tech attribute character. You can see he is a new affiliation here, Sternritter affiliation. So with this combination of affiliations, there are no unique items to them. So probably you can maybe expect, Caleb to add some new, maybe Sternritter or even Quincy affiliated related items later on down the line. Maybe the medallion that stole Bankai's, or a Quincy cross, or their Sternritter jacket, or the coat or whatever. That could be potential item options later on, but they don't have any affiliation specific items as of yet. Getting into his stats, he does have 785 attack. That's the most standout thing right there, and so that pretty much can obviously tells you that he is a NAD unit. And you go down here, he has Squad 0 Killer, so the first ever unit with Squad 0 Killer. Tech unit, Squad 0 Killer. He's clearly designed to counter Ichibei. He's designed to target Ichibeis and all the Ichibeis running around in PvP right now. Soul trait, damage taken 16%, minus 16%, that's great. We can look at his soul tree here. Sprinter +1, Bruiser 30%, Flurry, Berserker 40, Poise, Start Bearer +10, and then he has Poison minus 100 and Paralysis minus 100. So I know a lot of people saw the Flurry Poise, that's perfectly fine. With the Bruiser, I think all that is great for him being an ad unit. The killer effect, right? It's mainly, there's only the Squad 0 units that's only going to be applicable in, I guess you can use that in certain Senkai mode stages, right? They can definitely add those characters as bosses. Future guild quests, they could have them as bosses, so he'll be really good there. And obviously, it's mainly for PvP. Kiryo's also a Squad 0 unit in PvP, but she's not used as much, I feel. Ichibei is definitely the main, unit that's running around because of his Pierce Barrier and how he counters Noitora. So a lot of people saw him, Askin getting Start Barrier +10, and they're like, oh, Ichibei has Pierce Barrier, so that's kind of he's countered by Ichibei in that sense. But even if Ichibei has Pierce Barrier, he has attribute disadvantage, Ichibei, right, against this tech unit, and he doesn't have killer either. So it doesn't even matter that he's hitting through his barrier. It's not a huge deal, honestly. And then on top of that, because Askin doesn't have Pierce Barrier, I saw a lot of people saying that, oh, that means he's not going to be good against Ichibei. I don't know why, what PvP are you doing, or what game are you playing? Because barriers go down very quickly, right? Within the first few seconds where everyone's using strong attacks, all barriers are pretty much gone. right? So like Ichibe's barrier is gonna easily like go away, especially if he's running the mid lane. He's gonna get hit by both the side lanes and Askin, so the barrier hits are gonna go down. And Askin has another interesting thing in his kit, which is a new strong attack, which is a debuff ability. So basically, this is like a reverse boost. It basically debuffs enemies so they have lower stats, and if they have a boost active, it'll cancel out that boost. So I'm thinking it's basically the same values as a boost skill, which is 33% attack, focus, and defense, if I remember correctly. So when Askin would use this ability, it will lower, you know, all the enemies' attack by defense and focus by 33%. If they have a boost, then it just cancels each other out, and then they're unboosted and your team is still boosted. So I think that is pretty strong, and it could lead to like really one-sided like swings, like your team is boosted, they're unboosted, or if they don't even have a booster, right, they're even like further down stat wise, you could probably just, you know, clean up their team a lot more easier. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, if it's the AoE as well, if it's just, you know, the complete PvP arena, or if it's like a certain AoE around him, how exactly, you know, the area of effect is. But it'll be interesting to see. I think it's a pretty interesting ability as well. We can see more on the attack data here. So it's normal attack string, 4-hit string, last hit is AoE, strong attack 1 is a beam, and onto the boost, we see that the debuff is only 10 seconds. So it is like a boost without enhancer. So I wonder in the future if they'll make something like this with enhancer, so it's 20 seconds. And how does this affect like mobs as well? You know, in PvE, does it just also lower their like stats? You know, maybe you do more damage to them. It'd be interesting to see. I really want to see how that works. Unless they've already stated it's only, you know, it only works against player units, right? It doesn't work against mobs, but we'll have to see. I think it's pretty nice. I think he brings something interesting to the table, and he definitely counters Ichibe. But yeah, strong attack 3, you know, AoE distant 975, evil Koga, zombie Toshiro, mind Bankai Ichigo, that kind of strong attack. Special is nothing really, you know, out of the ordinary. It does have insta kill chance though. So that is pretty much it for Askin. We can see the similarity, I guess. So similar Nash strength to these guys. Yeah, beam, strong attack 1. And then the kind of boost AoE SA2, and then a full screen, or not, sorry, not full screen, the, you know, AoE distant SA3 in front of him. So overall, Askin, I think, you know, I'm a little disappointed he ended up being a PvP unit. I would have really liked him to be a PvE unit, and, you know, with all his like gift ball abilities and stuff, I think it would have been really cool. But even as someone who's not very into PvP, I think he's kind of interesting, and he brings something new to PvP in the form of that debuff skill. So you know, looking forward to see how he plays out, and, you know, if I can pull him, I can replace Yama, so that'll be great as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Askin, and we'll move on to the next character. And the next character we're going to look at is Bambi. Bambi is a speed attribute character with the obviously Quincy Sternritter affiliation. You can see that she has 802 SP, so she is an SP unit. Soul Reaper killer, interesting. I mean, I guess it's not interesting, they did fight Soul Reapers, but interesting for me specifically because I was not able to pull Tenjiro, the last, you know, like really relevant and the best speed Soul Reaper killer in the game. So to see them add another one, I'm kind of a little bit excited in that sense, because I have another chance to pull, you know, an attribute killer combination where I'm severely lacking. I literally don't have anything. I mean, I have stuff, but they're all bad. I think they're all trash. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to pull for her. Hopefully I can get her. But getting into her kit and everything, Sprinter +1, Bruiser 20%, Havoc 20, Berserker 20. You know, Havoc, Berserker, very, very nice. Frenzy, of course. Devastation 40, Debilitator +2, and then damage to burning enemies 20%. Again, like, I don't really think like these kind of skills are really all that strong. Like you would think like, oh, 20% bonus damage is kind of strong. I guess against bosses and stuff, right? You proc like your burn, you do, you know, 20% more damage. But against like regular mobs, like these units are so strong these days that you're gonna kill them like regardless. You're just gonna kill them outright. So yeah, like, I feel like you wouldn't notice the damage from this kind of ability or this kind of skill that often, because you're going to be doing so much damage. You're just going to be pumping out damage like crazy, and you know the mobs will die one way or another, right? More often than not, you're like one-shotting them. So I feel like you don't really notice this, but you know it probably does play a small role here and there. Maybe in like Senkai mode and stuff, you know, you proc the burn, you do extra damage, and wherever she'll be, you know, relevant for guild quests. Though burn, does it last the full duration? That is the thing. Does it last the full duration? I actually don't know. I know it's nerfed in the sense that they don't do like the burn ticks and the poison ticks, they don't do like millions of points of damage, but if they do last the full duration, then that's pretty good. It's like 5 seconds of, you know, 20% boosted damage. That's not bad. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Getting into her attack data, so you know, fully ranged character, burn on everything, normal attack string, 4-hit string, multiple hits per projectile, strong attack 1. This is apparently a new type of strong attack, 20% into 60%. It says shave and then AoE distance, so I'm not sure, circle shaped. Like this is all like I really don't know like what exactly I'm looking at. I can't like envision what this strong attack kind of looks like. It starts as a ranged collision and then it ends as a melee collision. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Even if we pull up like the attack similarity, apparently there's no characters with it, and I don't know if that's just because, you know, she has Havoc. If that's just because she has Havoc, or if there's literally no characters with this attack. You know, if there is, please point it out to me in the comments, because I'd like to know. This is like the one kind of like outlier that I'm not sure of yet. But yeah, so I can't really speak upon this. The range collision does kind of scare me a bit, but you know, it could still be somewhat usable. It could still be all right. Moving on to other strong attack 2, you know, AoE distant. This is a cone shaped like Thousand Year Blood Word Toshiro SA2, Kokuto SA2. You've seen it, you know, time and time again. Very good strong attack. Strong attack 3. I guess this is just Mind Koga, right? The evil Koga. He has the same thing, but with Havoc. So it's basically that. Or even you could also say Spirit Society Byakuya or Kenfura Emerald Shinji. I think they all have that cone shaped SA2. Strong attack 3, you know, full screen, 1200 radius, very, very nice. Special, nothing really out of the ordinary. Burn, that's fine as well. Yeah, like I said, it really depends on what this is. If this already exists in the game, please point it out to me and let me know what it is. If it doesn't, you know, I can't wait to see the gameplay and kind of critique to see how good it is. But yeah, I'm excited for Bambi. Again, speed Soul Reaper killer. I missed out on Tenjiro. Obviously, I'd still summon on Tenjiro whenever he comes back, but you know, at least I get another opportunity for, you know, an updated unit for my roster for speed Soul Reaper. So that is pretty exciting. I think overall, like, her kit seems pretty strong, like really nice. I'd still give it to Tenjiro though, obviously as speed Soul Reaper king, but I think Bambi is a you know, a good second place, and it really depends on what this strong attack 1 also looks like. But overall, I think she's pretty good. Looking forward to summon for her, and we'll move on to the next character. And the last character we're going to look at is Candice, and Candice is a mind attribute character. We can see here by her stats, 798 SP, so she's an SP unit, and her killer is Arrancar. So Mind Arrancar, is she the new, you know, best Mind Arrancar killer in the game? You know, we'll find out shortly. We can look at her soul tree here. So her skills, Sprinter +2, the extra flash step, that's pretty nice. Bruiser 20%, Havoc 20%, very nice. Berserker 20, you know, again, very nice. Frenzy, Devastation 40, Debilitator +5 seconds, and Weaken Defense. So on her special, that is. So we can look at her attack data, paralysis on everything. You know, Debilitator, I think she's going to be like pretty reliable in proccing paralysis. Literally everything she does, you know, does that, so that's pretty nice. Normal attack string, 4-hit string, last hit is AoE. Strong attack 1, looks like it's a lunge, 570 radius. Lunges, it always depends on how fast the lunge is and how far they lunge. So just based on this, it's not like enough. We need to see the gameplay, but you know, lunge strong attacks are always, you know, okay in my book. Strong attack 2, the cone-shaped strong attack, just like Bambi, how I mentioned earlier, you know, it's the same strong attack as her, same thing as Toshiro, Kokuto, all those other units I mentioned. Strong attack 3, 1200 radius, you know, full screen SA3 Havoc radius boosted, so it's very nice, very strong. Like this is like the top tier kind of strong text you could ask for, pretty much. But special, nothing really that like too special, I guess, about it. It inflicts weakened defense, that's about it, and it paralyzes. Just going over like this stuff, I feel like she is probably the best Mind Arankar killer in the game now. If we see like the similar units, Zombie Toshiro was definitely the king for Mind Arankar when he came out, and I feel Bambi does what he does, but she just covers a lot more AoE, so she has a lot more like coverage than Toshiro does. And you know, that's not to say Toshiro's like suddenly bad or anything. That's never the case. It's just that she does what Toshiro does, but she does it with more AoE. So I think that she definitely probably takes that top spot for Mind Arankar, but it's probably very close. Like there's no like huge difference between the two units. But yeah, definitely I think she's the top tier for Mind Arankar right now. Overall, her kit looks very strong, and she's actually the character I want to summon for the most out of the 3 units. Funny enough, she's not even like my favorite of the Quincy girls, so it's kind of surprising how she was created and made in the game, that how that changed my like, you know, decision or like my thought process towards her. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this character, or I guess you say banner review. You know, the banner comes out at end of the month as usual. We have the fillers here, you know, not too surprising. I know a lot of people will be upset to see the past Yoruichi and the Renji and all that stuff, but you know, what can you do? Hopefully, you know, I wish you guys best of luck in summoning for these units. If you don't want to go in on the double chance, you know, the individual banners will also be coming out, so I hope you guys can get them there. But let me know what you think about the Sternritters, how you thought their, you know, stats and skills and everything, how they're done, if you're happy or sad. And you know, I'll be back for when they release the gameplay, and we'll have, you know, my first reaction to seeing their gameplay. Hopefully it'll be really nice. But that's pretty much it, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, don't forget to join the Discord, link is in the description. You know, if you like the video, leave it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you all later.